Life Audio.
Hello, thank you for listening to your daily Bible verse, the podcast that examines one verse each day to learn more about God and His will for us. I'm your host, Chaka Heinze, and after this short word from our sponsor, we'll dive right into today's Bible verse in Psalm 119, verse 29.
Grand Canyon University, a private Christian university in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, believes that we're endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. GCU believes in equal opportunity, and the American dream starts with purpose. GCU equips you to serve others in ways that promote human flourishing and create a ripple effect of transformation for generations to come. By honoring your career calling, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. Change the world for good by putting others before yourself to glorify God. Whether your pursuit involves a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree, GCU's online, on-campus, and hybrid learning environments are designed to help you achieve your unique academic, personal, and professional goals. With 350 academic programs as of June 2024, GCU meets you where you are and provides a path to help you fulfill your dreams. The pursuit to serve others is yours. Let it flourish. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Did you know that Gen Z and millennials are leading the resurgence in church attendance? That's right. New research out from Glue and Barna as part of the State of the Church initiative shows that Gen Z and millennials are now attending church more regularly than older generations. This is a historic reversal in church trends. And Glue, spelled Gloo, is at the center of all of this. They're the technology platform for the faith ecosystem, connecting you with the latest research, technology, and values-aligned AI that supports churches, and ultimately, human flourishing. Glue is on a mission to serve those who serve, the pastors, leaders, publishers, and more in the faith ecosystem. That's high tech for a higher purpose. You can stay up to date with everything happening at Glue and across the entire faith ecosystem by texting JOIN to 46816. And when you text today, they'll send you the latest research from Glue and Barna about this historic church trend. Again, that's the word JOIN to 46816.
Today's Bible verse is Psalm 119, verse 29. Keep me from deceitful ways. Be gracious to me and teach me your law. Years ago, I homeschooled our two oldest boys for middle school. Now, homeschooling parents would sometimes have field trips that they would take together. And we had never done it, so I decided, let's do this. Sounds fun. But I have a terrible sense of direction. And this was before there was a Siri and I didn't have any kind of GPS help. So one day, though, we set out for this homeschool field trip. Going to unknown places with my children when they were little was probably one of the most terrifying things for me to do. But I swallowed my fear. I got on the road and we started going and we ended up in another state. Granted, this other state was only about 30 to 40 minutes away from my house, but we never made it to our destination. I would have loved it if someone had been able to guide me in the way I should go. The Psalms are a book of poems, and Psalm 119 is the longest poem in the book. It's an acrostic poem, each line beginning with a new letter of the Hebrew alphabet. The psalmist spends 176 verses recognizing the gift of God's laws and praising him for them. Psalm 119:29, again, it says, keep me from deceitful ways. Be gracious to me and teach me your law. The Hebrew words for deceitful ways can also be translated as false or lying ways or roads. In essence, the psalmist is saying, Lord, Don't let me get lost down a road of lies, not the lies of the world, myself, or anything else. He considered it a kindness from God, his grace, to teach him God's truth. Through the power of the Holy Spirit, God gave Moses the law found in the Torah, and Moses gave them to the Israelites. These laws were revolutionary, and they were meant to set the Israelites apart from the idol-worshiping, child-sacrificing, sexually promiscuous, rampant injustice of the cultures around them. God established laws to direct them toward the reality of the universe, the truth that he was the God they needed to worship, and he was the one who would take care of them. God protected the vulnerable. In Deuteronomy 24, verses 19 through 21, you see him telling Moses, don't let them harvest everything in the field. Make sure they don't glean it a second time, but leave some for the orphan, the widow, and the foreigner. In Exodus 23, verses 6 through 9, he says, don't deny justice for the poor or oppress the foreigners. The Torah forbade the Canaanite practices of women becoming temple prostitutes or ritualistic child sacrifice or sexual exploitation. The Torah protected married women from being cast aside without a certificate of divorce, which gave them the right to remarry without being considered an adulteress, which was super important during a time when women had no political clout of their own. The law enacted environmental protections such as a Sabbath rest for the land on the seventh year, and it established fair business practices, ensuring honesty and mercy in daily life. God's law in the Torah redefined righteousness, shaping much of what the modern world still considers good, loving your neighbor as yourself, or at the very least, not harming them. This was not the norm before God established the law. For those who heeded it, the law became a map leading toward shalom, which is not just peace, but completeness and wholeness. The psalmist understood this. He recognized the law as a precious gift, a guide toward God's best. But the law could only take them so far, and that's where Jesus enters the story. Jesus fulfilled the law and embodied it. The Word made flesh, the living map towards God's shalom. God the Father declared in Luke 9, verse 35, "This is my Son, whom I have chosen. Listen to him." And Jesus himself said in John 14, verse 6, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." The psalmist loved God's law so much that he wrote 176 verses about it. How much more should we love the lawgiver, the one who is the Word? When we follow Jesus, we don't just avoid deceitful ways, we find the way himself. We don't just study truth, we walk with truth. We don't just seek life, we live it through him. So today, would you pray this prayer with me? Lord, keep us from deceitful ways. Be gracious to us. Teach us your truth and lead us in your way.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than just money. We help you put your plans into motion and faith into action so you can do more for the ones in your heart. Because sometimes all you need to make a difference is someone to help you make it happen. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.